Luanda is vessel kept cloaking and decloaking. It's impossible to get a precise count. Nathan, I'm getting a hail from the Zoza. We're receiving a hail from the Ponderosa. Cassidy ship? Put her through. Nathan, this is the Ponderosa. We're under attack by... I can't get through to her. Something's jamming our transmission. Get a fix on her location. Have the crew in the Excelsior to man their stations. We'll meet you there. Fort scanners are picking up the Ponderosa. I'm picking up another ship. It has a tractor beam on the Ponderosa. On screen, maximum magnification. An Imperial Star Destroyer? I can't get through to the Ponderosa. They're jamming all channels. Hail the Star Destroyer. This is Commander Reed Head of the McChar. What is it you want? I want to know why you stopped that ship. We have ordered to search all vessels attempting to leave. Eve the Midwest and Great Plains. Search them for what? For shapeshifters. For ambient dormant submissives. Each ship will be scanned, its cargo searched, and its crew members and passengers subjected to genetic testing. By whose authority? On the authority of Dr. Mittenhand and the South American Revolutionary Command Council. South American Revolutionary Command Council has no jurisdiction and over ships over vessels in the Great Plains and Midwest. We assume you would welcome our assistance. Do you have any evidence that there are ambient submissive dormants aboard that particular ship? How can we have evidence until we conduct our tests? Commander. Regional. U.S. domestic law strictly prohibits any unwarranted search and seizure of vessels in our territory. I have my orders. The McChar has increased power to its tractor beam. It looks like they're preparing to board. Toward the Ponderosa. Major, raise shields. Power up the forward phaser, see if it gets their attention. Shields up, forward phaser standing by. They're still not releasing the tractor beam. Fire warning shot 200 meters below off their starboard bow. Yes, sir. Commander Readable would like to speak to you. Let's hear what he has to say. Nathan Joseph Wallace, this is outrageous. I agree, but you leave me no choice. You're violating U.S. domestic law. Now, I will ask you one last time. Release that ship immediately. We are your allies. Major, Lock phasers on the McChar's engines. Prepare to fire at my command. Release tractor beam. Dr. Mittenhand will hear of this. We're receiving a hail from the Ponderosa. Put her through. Nathan, I don't know what you said to those revolutionaries, but it must have been good. Is everybody okay? Everyone is fine. We'll keep you on scanners for as long as we can. And I doubt the self-remaining revolutionaries will give you any more trouble. Yes, and I will see you soon. According to our long-range sensors, the self-remaining battle group of the Lawanda's task force has just withdrawn to just just east of the Pacific Rim. So now they're in unclaimed space. And if the Lawandas continue detaining and searching ships, there's nothing we can do about it. Unless they try to stop a U.S. Navy or Pacific going vessel, which so far they haven't done. And Wallace, Dr. Mittenhand is here to see you. Oh good, send him in. Ah, Mittenhand, we need to talk. He is dead. Sieg Heil! It's Commander Rita Boz. Why did he give it to me? He's letting you know Rita Boz dead. And Dr. Mittenhand probably had him executed for disobeying orders. Which means our next confrontation with our own school won't be resolved so easily. Any suggestions? The longer the Lawandas keep up their warlike behavior against the Wizarding World, the worse things are going to get. Whatever you decide to do, Nathan Joseph Wallace, you better do it soon. Curzon told a human that in the long run, the only people who can really handle crazy people are crazy people. Complete. Just what this station needs. Another crazy people. I'm sorry to hear about. And your soccer career has been off the charts. And my leave was almost over. Do you want to know where you'll be assigned next? I don't know. Well, you don't know. I never know where I'll be assigned to once I graduate. But until that day comes, I intend to do my duty. Great. I assume you've read my situation report, Nathan James. And yes, I don't quite know what Mittenhand is telling us about the SV Revolutionary Battle Group in the Lawanda's task force. There are too many unanswered questions that I will attempt to find some for you. Great. If anything changes, let us know. Great. And Nathan James, I once thought about resigning in my school career as well. I never thought I'd take it seriously. Just don't make any quick decisions. Well, let me guess. Klingon blood wine. Prune juice chilled. Prune juice? How you doing? Oh, Nathan Jane. Nathan James, so happy you found us and joined us. Care for Game of Dots? Well, it's like poker, like pointed edges. You point it at the target right over there. Make sure you get that spot. I can't believe he did. He did what? And he knocked down Lancelot. He was trying to kiss me. He was supposed to kiss you. Ha. Lieutenant Colonel Constable Nathan James Wallace. This is Major Kibber Reese. I don't usually dress like this. We're in the hollows. Chow Chain, Major Kibber Reese, and Lieutenant Commander Jadzia Dex. I don't usually dress like this. We were in the hollow suite. And so I gathered. Used to be Curzon Dex. Yeah. But I don't usually dress like this either. It is an honor one on the Ravenclaw house. Well, I could say the same thing to them too. I suppose so. Blood wine and hooray. Excuse me. This blood wine is cold. Give it on. You must be Drex, a Children of Darkness cultist. That's right. I'm Nathan James Wallace, a perfect autistic. Now scram! He's good. Well, what can I tell him? Nathan James is more cuter than Cedric. Very good, Warren G. Enter. I have come from the Children of Darkness's tug, my jaw. Give it to me, or I will take it from you. Now that you are here, Mitten Hand, I am in no further need of it. You robbed me? And Children of Darkness consists of its honor just to get my attention? You cannot take away when someone does not have. Yet saying this cultist is without honor. I am saying this cultist is a coward and a liar. Sylvie, what have I done to you? Done to earn yours and Nathan Justice's disrespect? The misdeed your troops are committed speak for themselves. Attacking Nathan Joseph Wallace with a Slytherin house member, detaining and searching U.S. and Pacific ships without warning or provocation, and you executing one of your commanders because he refused to fire on a United States naval ship. Whatever we have done is in the best interest. It's in the United States continent. It's in the best interest in U.S. continental land, my dear. You must think me a fool to make your life so transparent, Mittenhand. I do not wish to quarrel with you, Nathan James. Nor would you. The House of Mittenhand is a proud one, with a proud tradition, but I must know why you are here. I am here under the authority, under my direction, and under the authority of Lawanda Dumore and Lawandaism. I am carrying out her orders. As that should be all an explanation an autistic warrior needs. You forget. I'm not only an autistic warrior, but a perfect autistic, and perfect autism demands an explanation. They will get one soon enough. But until then, know this. My mission will determine the fate of the real and wizarding worlds. Interfere, and you risk destroying us all. It has been too long. Long, my brother. Too long, Nimit James. We have much to discuss. I have asked Mittenhand to call off whatever attack he is planning with Lwandaism. He has refused. Dr. Mittenhand will not live to see the day he leads an assault. Oh, what do you mean? He stands alone, surrounded by his enemies. Nancy's nest and the evil girlfriends would have him killed. And if they don't, I will. You will. Dr. Mittenhand is weak. The revolution must never be allowed to follow Lwanda. Our leaders have failed us. They no longer deserve our loyalty. It is time to sweep away the revolutionary SV and put a new one in its place. How will that be accomplished? I already have the support of 4 perfect autistic squadron commanders in Scotland. When the time comes, they will follow me. Join us, Nathan James, and we will usher in a new era and regain our family name. Never. What? Nathan Joseph Wallace of America has completed the rite of succession and will lead perfect autism in battle. It is our duty to support him. Mittenhand spits in your face when you are supporting Nathan Joseph Wallace, when asking him to get back what is rightfully ours, and you would support Nathan and Joseph of America. We cannot regain our honor by acting dishonorably. I will not support Nathan Joseph of America. I am your bigger brother, Nimit James. I speak for our family. We will back Nathan Jameson. We will back Nathan Joseph of America. But not now, not yet. We will wait until he feels the grasp of the enemies around his throat. Then we will offer him our support. And the price will be the restoration of our family name in Scotland. It will be difficult to convince my allies to back Nathan Joseph of Scotland, of perfect autism. But I will try. I must go to the Memphis sector to meet with the other squadron commanders. Contact me when you have gained their support. Then I will be ready to support Nathan Joseph's cause. Enjoying the view, Nathan James? But sooner or later, you will have to report to Nathan Joseph. Well, it's none of your business. What? There's none of your business. The security of the house is my business. Either you've given up on the investigation, which is my turn to take over, or you have found something so disturbing, so profound and disgusting, that you are eager to inform Nathan Wallace. Nathan Joseph, if you will. Where's Nathan Wallace? In his office. I need to speak to him now. China and Southeast Asia? Why would that South Armenian, along with its Lwanda's allies, want to attack China and Southeast Asia? According to my source, there has been an uprising. And according to my sources, China just hosted the 2008 Olympic Games. And there has been an uprising in Macau, now in Southeast Asia. Lwanda's commands are overthrown and power transferred to civilian authorities. even if your sources are correct, what does that have to do with South-Vermilion's revolutionary military? Dr. Minhan and the Revolutionary Command Council believe that the coup was engineered. Believe that the coup was engineered by the Ambians who have emerged from the Wizarding world, filled with submissives. Do they have any proof? None that I know of. Although they are convinced that submissives could not have overthrown Macau's Lawanda's command without help. So, by attacking in China and Southeast Asia, they think they're protecting the United States from terrorism. Cisco to Nathan to Dax. Contact Dr. Mittenhand. Tell him I want to meet with him in the Lego Movie PS3 game on the Octane Tower immediately. Yes, sir. Ian. Yes, sir. Nathan James just told you the truth. South-Vermilion has forces in play. South-Vermilion is joining with Lawandaism, and they already have forces in place to invade China and Southeast Asia, trying to button up those governments, make it stronger. I can't tell you, Nathan, that they're really going to do that. I don't have that good intelligence, but they are capable of moving out of the starting blocks tomorrow. Dr. Mittenhand, you and the South-Vermilion Revolutionary Command Council better inform the Lawanda's leaders that they should not, I repeat, not invade China and Southeast Asia. I know you guys are ready to do so. We in the South-Vermilion Revolutionary Command Council are not planning an invasion of China and Southeast Asia. I began by telling Mittenhand that there was a cancer growing in Operation Lawanda Rosa upcoming, and if the cancer was not removed, Mittenhand himself will be killed by it. Nathan, I think you better take a look at this. Report. As soon as Mittenhand came back to his ship, he sent a message to the South-Vermilion fleet. He joined with Lawandaism, and Lawandaism in one word sent a message to the fleet. And begin. I'm reading a distortion in subspace. The Lawanda ships are going to warp. Can you plot their course? Judging from the banks of the subspace disturbance, their course is 269 Mark 032. They're headed directly into the heart of China and Southeast Asia. The South-Vermilion Revolutionary Command Council. So far, they have no response. So until they get a chance to speak to them, we've been ordered not to get involved. The perfect autistic Highlanders have agreed to abide by the decisions of the nobles. So this means we're not going to warn the Wizarding world of what's coming? Man. And the Lawandas are gonna invade and use China and Southeast Asia as a jumping pad to invade the Wizarding world. That's why our nobles have been trying to contact the Revolutionary Command Council of SV, and so far they have no response. So until they get a chance to speak to them, we've been ordered not to get involved. The perfect autistic Highlanders have agreed to abide by the decisions of the nobles in this matter. So this means we're not going to warn the Wizarding World of what's going on? The Submarine is still our allies. If we warn the Wizarding World of what's happening, we'll be betraying them. Besides, what if Submarine was right? What if the Wizarding World has been taken over by the ambient dormant submissives? If Draco Malfoy and the entire dormant submissives wanted to gain control of all of the Wizarding World, that's how they would do it. The coup could have just as easily succeeded without the dormant and submissives of ambience. And the feminist dissident movement of Macau and Southeast and all countries in Southeast Asia has been gaining strength for years. With Lawandaism out of the picture in Southeast Asia and China, they may have finally succeeded. The question is not whether any ambient dormant submissives in Southeast Asia or even in Southeast Asia or in China. Those self-remaining revolutionists say they know us too much and we have been at peace too long. And that they say Lawandaism must expand in order to survive. Fear of the ambient dormant submissives has given my people an excuse to do what they were born to do, to fight and to conquer. If they're so eager to fight, who else will say they'll stop up for China and Southeast Asia on their way to the Wizarding World? By way of the Buendi's frontier. Next target can be anyone, even the Wallace Alliance, and Perfect Autism. If I were you, I'd be more worried about Perfect Autism. Think about it. What good will it do South Armenian and their Lawanda's allies to defeat China and Southeast Asia if they don't control the Buendi's frontier to the Wizarding World? Agreed. If South Armenian revolutionists return the school to the old ways, then no one will be safe. Then we'll have to make sure that doesn't happen. But how? The way I see it, we only have two choices, both of them bad. If we stand by and do nothing, we run the risk of being Lawandaism's next target. But if we disobey Noble's orders and warn the Wizarding World, we just may end up starting a war with Lawandaism. We just may end up starting a great war with Lawandaism and SB, which means we need a third option. Let's start that again. Trust me, you won't regret this. When it comes to keeping warm, nothing beats Deltarian wool undergarments. In case you change your mind about those earmuffs, I'll put them on hold for you. Mr. Garrick, I would like to see you in the Giga Mansion immediately. Bring your tailor's kit. I'm talking 275 in the first wave alone. Excuse me, I hope I'm not interrupting. I like to be measured for a new suit. Now? Now. I do have your measurements, Nathan. Take them again. You said. Nathan, between ground forces, starships, aircraft, and equipment, Lawandaism has committed almost 3/10 of their military to this invasion. How long before they reach their target? According to our estimates, Lawanda's forces should enter China and Southeast Asia within the hour. Don't forget the waist. I lost a little bit of weight. Oh yes. I do have your measurements now. Thank you very much. Scramble code 5 to the Wizarding World. Care the old folks up. Oh, yeah. Well, surprised to see me? Couldn't come at a better time. But I have some grave and serious news I'm reporting to you. Some from Million Revolutionary Forces, along with their Lawanda allies, have forces in place to invade China and Southeast Asia, in an effort to penetrate the Boyandi's frontier on the way to the Wizarding World. Garrick, what a surprise to see you again. South Vermilion and Lawandis. Why would South Vermilion and Lawandis invade China and Southeast Asia? According to my sources, as the South Vermilion Revolutionary Command Council believes that the Wizarding World has been taken over by ambient submissive dormants. That's ridiculous. Is it? St. Nathan, you have got to talk to Nathan Joseph Wallace. Tell him he has to find a way to stop South Vermilion and its Lawanda's allies. The Wizarding World has enough problems right now. You're having trouble keeping the civilians in line? How do you know about that? I'm afraid since the fall of the South Vermilion Republic and government and SV security isn't what it used to be. Yes. Shame about South Vermilion's Republican government. I suppose there won't be much demand for your services anymore. Looks like you'll be hemming women's dresses for the rest of your life. We can stand here all day reminding ourselves how much we hate each other, but you don't have the time. South Vermilion Revolutionary forces along with the Lawanda's allies will reach Chinese and Southeast Asian territory in 1 hour. I suggest you prepare for them. I have a statement by Nathan, and Nathan will address the autistic people on 2 major issues that is affecting the world. Thank you. I come to you this evening to discuss the extremely important and rapidly changing circumstances in China and Southeast Asia. I continue to share with all of you, and also in the Wizarding World, I continue to share with all of you the sense of outrage and impatience because of the kidnapping of innocent real-world hostages and holding of them by dormant ambient submissives with the support and the approval of Slytherin House. Our purposes continue to be the protection of the long-range interests of Perfect Autism and the safety of the Perfect Autistic hostages. We're attempting to secure the release of these autistics through the Department of International Magic Cooperation, through the International Court of Justice, through the United Nations, and through public and private diplomatic efforts. We are determined to achieve this goal. We hope to do so without bloodshed and without any further danger to the lives of 50 Perfect Autistics. In these efforts, we continue to have the strong support of the international community. The unity and the common sense of all Perfect Autistic people under such trying circumstances are essential to the success of our efforts. Recently, there has been another very serious development which threatens the maintenance and the peace of all of Southeast Asia and all East Asia. Massive, Mortville, Genoa, Cold River, Avonlea, and other Lawandaism forces have invaded Hong Kong, Macau, Vietnam, Cambodia, Laos, and the People's Republic of China. They are hitherto not been, thus far, occupied satellites of Lawandaism and Lawanda du Mour's Mortville. 500, 545,000 and Rwandaism troops. 545,000 heavily armed Rwandaism troops have crossed the border in those countries and are now dispersed throughout these nations, attempting to conquer the fiercely independent Asian people in those countries and use it as a springboard as an attack on the Wizarding World. South Korean revolutionists and Rwanda forces claim, falsely, that they were invited into Asia to go to the Burundi's frontier, to go to the Wizarding World, to help protect that world from some unnamed outside threat, which is the ambient dormant submissives and that disease that is spreading rapidly. But the Perfect Autism's ambassador to Hong Kong before the Rwanda invasion was assassinated, along with several members of his family, after her Morphville Allied forces gained control of Hong Kong and Macau. Only several days later was a new puppet leader being brought into Hong Kong and Macau by Rwanda and her Mortville. This Rwanda's invasion of all of China and Southeast Asia is an extremely serious threat to peace because of the threat of further Rwanda's expansion into neighboring countries in all of Asia, and also because such an aggressive military policy is unsettling to other peoples throughout the world, into both real and wizarding worlds, and harmful to witches and wizards of Hogwarts School of Witchcraft and Wizardry. This is a callous violation of international law and the United Nations Charter. It is a deliberate effort of a powerful atheistic ideology, Rwandaism, to subjugate an independent Asian people. We must recognize the strategic importance of all of Asia through stability and peace. A Rwandaism occupied China and Southeast Asia threatens both Myanmar, Pakistan, Afghanistan, Iran, Iraq, and is a stepping stone to possible control over much of the world's oil supplies. Perfect Autism wants all nations in the region to be free and to be independent. If Rwanda's forces are encouraged in this invasion by eventual success, and if they maintain their dominance over China and Southeast Asia, and then extend their control to adjacent countries in the Middle East, Europe, and Africa, the stable, strategic, and peaceful balance of the entire world will be changed. This will threaten the security of all nations, including, of course, the United States, our allies, and our friends. Therefore, the world cannot simply stand by and permit Rwandaism to commit this act with impunity. 123 nations have petitioned the United Nations Security Council to condemn Mortville and her allies in Rwandaism, and have demanded the complete withdrawal of all Rwanda's forces from China and Southeast Asia. We realize that under the United Nations Charter, Rwanda's Mortville and her allies may veto action of the Security Council. If the will of the Security Council should be thwarted in this manner, that immediate action will be appropriate in a General Assembly of the United Nations, where no Mortville veto exists. In the meantime, neither Perfect Autism, nor any other nation or group, nor any other person, place, or thing which is committed to world peace and stability can continue to do business as usual with Lawanda's Mortville and her allies. I have already recalled the perfect autistic ambassadors from Lawanda's countries back to Washington, and they're working with me and with my other senior advisors in an immediate and comprehensive evaluation through the whole range of our relations with Mortville. The successful negotiation Salt-Y Treaty has been a major success of Nathan Joseph's tenure in school. We, Perfect Autism, the Wallace Alliance, San Fermin, and the entire world will benefit from the restraint of nuclear weapons per the implementation of this carefully negotiated and carefully evaluated treaty. However, because of Lawanda's Mortville and her Lawandaism allies aggression, I have asked the Perfect Autistic Nobles and the Wallace Alliance Congress to defer further consideration of the Salt-Y Treaty, so that the Wallace Alliance Congress and Perfect Autism Nobles and I can assess Lawandaism's actions and intentions, and devote our primary and legislative abilities required if needed to respond to this crisis. As circumstances change in the future, we will of course keep the ratification of the Salt-Y Treaty under active review in consultation with the leaders of the Wallace Alliance and Congress and the Perfect Autistic Nobles. Lawanda's Mortville must understand our deep concern. We will delay opening of any new Mortville consular facilities. Most of the cultural and economic exchanges currently under consideration will be deferred. Trade with Mortville will be severely restricted. I have decided to halt or to reduce exports to Lawanda's Mortville in 3 areas that are particularly important to them. These new policies are being and will be coordinated with those of our allies. I have directed that no high-tech equipment or other strategic items be licensed for sale to Mortville until further notice, while we revise our licensing policy. Fishing privileges for Mortville to fish in the Florida Keys or the Florida Everglades will be severely restricted. The 600,000 tons of grain ordered by Mortville, in excess of that amount which we are committed to sell, will not be delivered. This grain was not intended for human consumption. It was to be used to build up Mortville livestock herds. I have decided to minimize any adverse impact on the autistic farmer from this action. The undelivered grain will be removed from the market through storage and price support programs and purchases at market prices. We will also increase amounts of grain devoted to the alleviation of hunger in poor countries, and will have a massive increase to the use of grain for gasohol production in your home. After consultation with other principal grain exporting nations, I am confident that they will not replace these quantities of grain through additional shipments on their part to Luanda's Mortville. Although Perfect Autism in its world will prefer not to withdraw from the qualification phase of the 2010 FIFA World Cup scheduled, Luanda's Mortville must realize that their continued aggressive actions will endanger both the participation of soccer players and travel to qualification games by fans who would normally wish to attend a qualifier for the 2010 FIFA World Cup. Along with other countries, we will provide military equipment, food, and other assistance to help the Wizarding World defend its independence and sovereignty against the seriously increased threat it now faces from the north. Perfect Autism also stands ready to help allies in similar ways. Neither our allies nor our potential adversaries should have the slightest doubt about the willingness to take the measures I have outlined tonight. History teaches some lessons that aggressive action unopposed becomes a contagious disease. With the support of our allies and along with other countries, we will deter aggression. And we will protect our people. Thank you very much. According to our sensors, there's the beachhead colonies of Vietnam, Cambodia, Laos, and China, Macau, and Hong Kong were mobilized immediately. A warning and Luandism is coming. Somebody warned that something for me is coming. This will make Mittenhand and his troops know what they're doing. And now that they're mobilized, this will make Mittenhand think twice about what they are doing. Unlikely. Now that the battle has begun, Mittenhand and his troops will settle for nothing less than victory. Well, what did the Federation Council say? What did our nobles and Highlanders say? And what did the International Autistic Republic say? They have decided to condemn the Luandist invasion. In response, Luanda has expelled all autistic citizens from Luanda's countries and recalled their ambassadors. Where's to Mortville? You're saying they cut off diplomatic relations? They have done more than that. Mortville, Genoa, Cold River, Avonlea. The evil girlfriends, Nancy's Nest, and SV and Oxymoron have withdrawn from the Kittimer Accords. The peace treaty between autism and Luandaism has ended. Captain, you're never going to believe this. And Luanda as Star Raider has just decloaked at Upper Pylon 3 and is requesting permission to dock. They claim they have Mittenhand on board, and he is demanding to speak with Nathan Wallace personally. Nathan Joseph, that is. Dr. Mittenhand, you wish to see me. Nathan, mein Pierre, it is good to see you. I always said that uniform will get you into trouble one day. It seems you were right. And I do not apologize for my action. Yes, I know. You did what you thought was right. And even though you have made some enemies, I assure you, I am not one of them. I'm glad. Your friendship means much to me, and yours to me. It has been too long since you last fought at my side. Now the time has come again. We will do great deeds in the coming days. With deeds worthy of song. You want me to go to the Wizarding World with you. First to Southeast Asia and then the Wizarding World. What better way to redeem yourself in the eyes of your people? Come with me, Nathan. Glory awaits you in Southeast Asia and the Wizarding World. Nathan, why do you stand there like a mute block? I have offered you a chance for glory. All you have to do is take it. If there is any victory to be won, Mittenhand, it'll have to be yours alone. I cannot come with you. Of course you can. It is where you belong. I cannot abandon my post. You no longer have a post. You have no place on that station and no business wearing that uniform. I have sworn an oath of allegiance to the Wallace Alliance and to perfect aldism. Hell, you have me break my word. Your word? What good is your word? What good is your word when you give it to people who can hear nothing for honor? Who refuse to lift a finger while Luanda South for me and revolutionist soldiers and their Luanda and our Luanda allies shed blood for their protection. I tell you, they are without honor. You do not owe them anything. It is not what I owe them that matters. It is what I owe myself. Nathan Joseph Wallace does not break his word. And what if you're dead to me? You're saying you owe me nothing. And force you to be a part of our army. And get to complete challenges that you won't accept. And this is how you repay me. It is true. I owe you a great debt. I would give up my life for you, but invading China and Southeast Asia and the Wizarding World is wrong, and I cannot support it. Nathan, I have always considered you a friend and an ally, and because you are my friend, I am offering you this one last chance to redeem yourself. Come with me. No. Think of what you are doing. If you turn your back on me now, as long as I live, you will not be welcomed anywhere in the Salvermian Revolutionary Army. Your special ed class will be removed from the height until your land seized and your house stripped of its titles. You will have nothing except my honor. So be it. Sieg Heil!